At long last, the Senate has passed their immigration reform bill, 68-32, after a massive amount of money was added, the $46 billion for increased border security. So that has passed. So the Senate now, as expected a couple of days ago, has passed it. And now it goes to the House, where its future is a little bit more dicey, I would say. So John Boehner, after the election...
Whose future is also dicey, I would say.
Actually, and maybe in regard to this, actually.
Yeah, I think this is the beginning of the end of his speakership. It's not so easy to have him out as speaker, but this is the beginning of the end.
Yeah. So in the wake of Obama's re-election just last year, he had sounded like he was very much amenable to the idea of passing some sort of immigration reform bill. And now you get a quote from him, it doesn't sound as certain. This is what he said recently. The House is not going to take up and vote on whatever the Senate passes. We're going to do our own bill through regular order, and there will be legislation that reflects the will of our majority and the will of the American people. For any legislation, including a conference report to pass the House, it's going to have to be a bill that has the support of a majority of our members. But the problem there is that what the majority of the House believes is in no way reflective of what the majority of the country believes.
Right.
They are about as extreme as you can get at this point.
And they've been gerrymandered into it not mattering.
Exactly.
You know? So that's the big problem, and we alluded to it earlier. The way the House has been structured now, it doesn't matter. Because if they vote against immigration, even if it's the will of the people, when they get home, their districts are happy, and it's been cut up so perfectly that you don't have to cross your district.
And like the bailout, part of this bill that hopefully gets discussed and debated is the huge giveaway to Wall Street interests, right? So we have, according to the Congressional Budget Office, 3.5 million immigrants who won't have a path to citizenship through this bill. So you're creating a class system within immigrants within the system. And secondly, you're funding billions of dollars for private detention centers to hold on, and even more money for future border security. So the immigration community, if their voice is heard and if we're to listen to them, isn't jumping for joy over this immigration bill.
No, it's certainly it's progress in that it is leaning toward paths, and it's leaning towards recognition. But listen, I mean, the other side of the coin here is it's going to be a long time before a significant number of our immigrant population, specifically our Latin and Hispanic immigrant population, votes to support the Republicans who are voting against this anyway now. So the short-term gains will not be realized for these people in the House of Representatives, but it's a bill about racism. People talk about this bill about the economy. No, this is about racism. This is about these people don't speak our language, they don't look like us, and they came here illegally, which is how everybody essentially came here a long time ago. Tim Hulskamp's grandparents came here, or great-grandparents or great-great-grandparents came here presumably from the Netherlands or Germany, judging by his last name. And that's how this country was founded, and they forget that crap.
Yeah, it's xenophobia on parade.
It's racism. If you call it xenophobia, yes, it's xenophobia on parade. That's it. These are racist. This is a racist inclination that causes people. I don't believe any of the bullshit about this being about the economy and jobs, because the economist for Mitt Romney's campaign, Douglas Holtz-Eakin, who you don't agree with at all politically, but you may economically, says this is an economic boon for America having immigration.
Even the political expediency of people like John McCain, who see this as a must-do for the Republican Party because they're going to be hanging themselves if they don't, can be argued as racist as well. I mean, where was he years ago when we were building our economy on the backs of these people, exploitation and on hierarchy and things like that? Where was he then? Only now, when he sees the Republican Party losing votes because of the shifting tide of the demographics, is it something that we have to do.
It ignites some fear. Like Talking Points Memo actually just recently asked him, if they don't vote for some form of immigration reform, can they recover in time for 2016? They said that he took a long, deep breath and said no.
Yeah.
And so
he's right. I mean, he's right about it.
That's possibly true. Now, the obvious question that comes out of this is, they've added the $46 million for the border security. The pathway to citizenship is extremely long and out there, so it has no impact on several elections from here on out. Do you think that the House is going to pass something?
I don't think there's a chance in hell that
passing any bill.
Passing a bill that looks anything like the Senate bill. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Passing any bill at all, not one I don't think that the president will sign. I don't think that it would behoove him. I think that if he makes the House look like fools for, this was a 68-32. how many times have you seen, even, I mean, since Bill Clinton became president, have you seen 68 to 32 on an important piece of legislation come out of the Senate?
Yeah.
Pretty rare that you get 14 Republicans to come over to the other side. So I think absolutely that this is not going to come out of the House of Representatives. It doesn't have to. But you guys tell me that Mitt Romney got 29% of the Hispanic vote in 2012. Right. Do you see 1% more or like 6% less next time? I can't see who would have been wooed to Mitt Romney's side right now.
You know, it could be argued a Hispanic version of Mitt Romney just ran in the special election for Senate in Massachusetts against Ed Markey, and Ed Markey didn't win as decisively as perhaps he should have, having 37 years in Congress.
And the Republicans didn't spend a ton of money in that race either.
Yeah, so I don't know what the answer to that question is. I think that perhaps there are other Gomez-type characters out there that can appeal to the Hispanic community while preaching, things like the Koch brothers do to the Tea Party, or preaching practices that are going to hurt
You need more than
community.
just Hispanics to appeal to Hispanics.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just not going to happen.
And it's undercut by the fact that despite some Republicans' attempts to appear moderate or to appear rational when it comes to this issue, every time they come out, then Fox News has another couple of crazies who say that, for instance, we don't have time to play it, unfortunately, but Phyllis Schlafly saying that they don't have the morals that would work with our party. Like, don't worry about them, ignore them.
Yeah.
It's hard to fight that when you have your own side running campaign ads against your side.